Hi, welcome to an Aquarius experience. This is for Aquarius and Aries. This will be a connection spread for the highest good of the relationship. This is October 2025. Aquarius, you have arrived to some sort of mental clarity. Logistically, you have racked your brain of the pros and the cons and written it down on paper, and you have ultimately come to a conclusion, and you are pretty clear about this. Clear enough to be able to communicate it to whoever it is that you need to communicate it to. However, your challenge will be some waiting. You're going to be impatient with the results. So you may have already communicating, may have already communicated to yourself or to someone else which way you want to go with something. It could be the relationship or it could be with yourself in general. But now that you have expressed this, or now that you have ultimately come to this conclusion, there's going to be some waiting that you have to do. So now that you have this clarity, you have to find some way to be able to wait for the results. Aries. You are in a good place. The sun is shining. You feel fun, free. You feel maybe even on some sort of pedestal here. You're being praised, maybe. Childlike. You're in a good place. You're happy. However, your challenge is that there's a moving on that's happening. So it could be that you've moved on from this relationship, and at first and at the moment you are feeling pretty happy about it. So whether you moved on from the relationship or Aquarius has found some clarity and decided that they're going to go ahead and move on from the relationship, or you guys are parting ways, there's going to be some resistance to moving forward. This could be something like you guys still live together, which explains why there's going to be some waiting that's happening on the Aquarius's end, some impatience. Mutual energies, the Two of Swords. So both of you and both of you are stuck. And so even though this is just, it's very specific, but it looks like there has been an ending to a relationship, and it's mutual. It's a mutual arrangement. However, there's some things that are still tied. I'm not sure if that's in the 3D or if that's emotionally or some other kind of things that are tying you together, but neither of you know how to make the split happen. So although you guys both seem like you want the split to happen, neither of you know how to begin. So this could be a marriage, and you both kind of mutually come to an agreement that it's loveless and we need to split ways. But you, both of you, are kind of at a loss as to how to approach that. That's extremely specific. However, if it is in a marriage and it is in a splitting of a relationship, it could be anything else. It could be the ending of something. Or it could even be the beginning of something. This could definitely also be a beginning of something, which is why there's so much happiness at the Aries end. But neither of you know how to start. So, this could be even an affair that's happening. And Aries is having to walk away from a family. Okay, I'm going to pull for the immediate future. Immediate future for Aquarius and Aries. If this is a friendship, this could be moving in together, but not knowing how to begin that. Okay, it's a lot of cards. I'm going to take them. There's a Chariot, which is something moving forward. There's a lot of anxiety. Somebody's staying up at night. There's a recognition of some feelings attached to a walking away, and the Fool, which does speak of new beginnings and kind of like a hope for the future, but progressing forward without really looking at the steps ahead. He's kind of hanging off this cliff, about to take this leap of faith, a leap of faith. So in the immediate future, there's going to be a leap of faith. There's going to be a walking away from some emotional ties. There's going to be a recognition of the emotional toll that this walking away energy, moving on energy is coming to the surface. But it's happening. So there will be some forward movement in the direction that you guys have come to agree upon, and that you guys are really excited to move forward in this direction. It's going to take some time to figure that out, but sure enough, even though neither of you know how to make this happen, you guys are just going to go on forward and see what happens without a plan. There's no plan here. And it's going to be hard mentally. It's going to cause a lot of sleepless nights. And one of you or both of you are going to be walking away from something emotionally, and it's going to hurt, and it's going to bring up feelings that you did not know you had, and that is what's going to cause the anxiety and the sleepless nights. Okay. The immediate future. Advice for Aquarius. Advice for Aquarius for the highest good of the relationship. Advice for Aquarius is the Ten of Cups. So the advice is that keep the goal of this, having all of your emotional fulfillment. Keep that in focus. Be in tune with what it is that you want manifest. It is essentially this happily ever after. So just keep focused on that, and that will help you progress through all of this. And for Aries, we have the Prince of Pentacles, which says to me, slow and steady. There's going to be stability, but it's going to take some time to develop that momentum into the stability, but it will be moving forward, and it will pan out, and it will be something that will eventually stabilize for you, Aries. Okay, with that in mind, or with that being said, I hope that this has been helpful, and until next time, thank you.